ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Okay, so last time we had seen till verse number 5. If you remember, Dhaturuttamaha, till there we had seen. Today we start from verse number 6. Aprameyo Rishikesha Padmanabho Amara Prabhu Vishwakarma Manustvashtasta Vishtasta Virodhruvaha. So Aprameyaha is the first name. Let's start looking at that. अप्रमेयः साक्षिरूपत्वात्, as per the Shankara Bhashya, it is said aprameyah. Now it literally means one whose greatness cannot be known. Like for example, if we say the Lord is great, or if we are talking about a great person, sometimes we make such statements, right? Let us not take God. If someone is great, or if you want to describe someone, we say no, I don't have words, right? Or your description is beyond words. It cannot be described in words, right? So the same thing is applicable even here for aprameyaha. It doesn't mean that the Lord cannot be described, but the greatness or the description has got no bounds. So that is this aprameyaha. Now there is a story for this. Let's have a look at that. Even today, if you go to a place, I think it is Doddabalur, I think it's between Mysore and Bangalore. This place that is there, Doddabalur. There was the Mysore Raja who was ruling in those times. Even today we have the Mysore royal family living there. You have the famous Mysore Dasera that we know. So then it was in those times wherein we used to have the kings of Mysore ruling there. So once it so happened that there was a statue, and Mysore, if you see, it is known for its sandalwood, right? So that area is known for sandalwood, and even today whenever although now we don't buy the original sandalwood, most of us we prefer the sandalwood powder, right? The small chandan powder, and that also is quite costly. It's not very easily available. I'm talking about the pure sandalwood. Nowadays we get in the markets, I think that is a bit mixed also. Therefore, just a tip now, because this topic has come, whenever you buy the sandalwood powder, you must ensure that it is not too yellow in color. Some people, what they do is they make the chandan powder very yellow. It should not be that. It should be the original sandalwood color. In some places, if you see, because of adding a few things, like many people sometimes, those people will add a bit of turmeric or some other element, so that's how the sandal powder changes its color. You can see a yellowish tint. That should not be there. In fact, it should be on the lighter side. As more light, more is said to be pure. Now, of course, there are a lot of chemical mixtures taking place today, but that's how the original sandalwood should look. So if you have the original sandalwood, I'm talking about the solid part, and then you can, even on the rod or the base, you can churn out, and that's how the sandalwood is made. That is also one thing. So Mysore is a place wherein we have a lot of sandalwood, and then we have those so-called stories also, wherein we have many sandalwood thieves. So all the stories are quite famous in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and so on. We have many folk tales based on this, so wherein we have a lot of thieves who steal these sandalwood and all that. So therefore, to this Mysore Maharaja, once it so happened that now people from the nearby states, other countries, they used to come to visit the king. So every time whenever we go to visit someone, we get a gift for them. So once it so happened that while visiting this Mysore Maharaja, one particular king of a nearby state, he said that, okay, here this place is famous for its sandalwood. So in a sandalwood, using sandalwood, he bought a small image, or you can say small idol of Navanita Krishna. Navanita Krishna is nothing but a small Krishna with a hand. In his hand he has Navanita, in his hand you have butter. Mostly this idol you can see in North India. You go to Mathura, Dwaraka, Vrindavana and all that. There we have this famous Navanita Krishna that is there, and it is very, very auspicious to keep the Navanita Krishna at home. You keep it at home, or you worship it, or you buy it, or when people, you can even gift it to others and so on. It is very, very auspicious. Any form of Krishna is okay, but this Navanita Krishna, I'll show you the picture later. So this Navanita Krishna's idol in pure sandalwood. This was gifted by the neighboring king to this Mysore Maharaja. And it was a big idol, not a small idol. So then this was bought, and then now the news spread in the kingdom. Entire Mysore it spread about in this Doddaballur district, and people were very happy and so on. So now the local people, they had a conversation amongst themselves saying that using now, because this statue is also quite big, let us build out a big temple here so that all of us, we can, every day we can visit this temple, worship the Lord and so on. So there was a person in the village, you can say like a senior person. So he heard all these talks that were happening between people, and then he came and said that point number one is this idol has been gifted by one of the king's friends, right? So first thing is the king is going to keep it in his kingdom, in his palace. He will not allow to build a temple for the local public out of it. This is point number one. Second is building a temple of Lord Krishna will be a waste. Reason being, was this Krishna right from the time he is born, he is a big fraud. Fraudster is, he will try to cheat people, he will try to speak very nicely, he will try to attract people towards himself, and in the end of how he makes a fool and runs away, we don't know. We have the Krishna Leela stories as evidence for this. Right from the time he is born, this person is doing all kinds of fraud things, all kinds of mischief. We don't know how he will attract us. In his beauty, he attracts us. In his bhakti, he attracts his devotees. And then he ends up running away from there. Therefore, be very, very careful when you build a temple or when you worship this fraudster called Krishna. So the learned man, or you can say the senior man, he told all this and he went away. So, like if you see in this Shankara Bhashya meaning, the meaning that is written, you can see on the stage, Shastras remove superimposition of wrong knowledge about him. So this was a wrong knowledge that was being told, saying that this person is a fraudster, this Lord Krishna, we cannot worship him anymore. Or rather, you worship him, but at least do not build a temple out, that too out of precious sandalwood for him. So then the people said, okay, forget now. If there is a king's decision, king might not do as the senior person is telling. The king might not build a temple and so on. Of course, he has got a gift, so let him keep it with him. Then it so happened that now this person, this king, he said, okay. So he was about to take. Now Doddaballur is a very small district. So he said that let me go to the main city of Mysore, main city of that is towards Bangalore side, and then in that main area, let me build a temple for this Navanita Krishna, so that more people will come, more devotees will be attracted and so on. So in a big truck or so, he carried all the things that were necessary to build the temple, all the things that were needed. And then when the time came to lift the Navanita Krishna, the idol of Navanita Krishna, the idol could not be moved from there. The king tried, his ministers tried, everyone came, and first the ministers tried. The king started shouting at them, what, you cannot even lift the idol, I will do it by myself. Even he also could not lift. Many people tried, all kinds of cranes, trucks, everything was called in. Still the idol could not be lifted from there. So then a learned man comes there and says that. And even the king also realized that maybe this Navanita Krishna who has been gifted to me wants to stay here only today, wants to stay in this city, in this district only. So therefore let us not take it anywhere. So the senior person who had made such comments on the Lord or on Krishna, all his comments tend to be failed. This because all these comments were being heard by the Lord. Aprameyaha. His greatness is not known. Just because we assume some things, in reality it turns out to be something completely different, turns out to be the complete opposite. That's why even today if you go to this Doddaballur district, I don't know if anyone, maybe staying in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, you would have gone this. We have the famous Doddaballur Navanita Krishna temple. Or you can say the Aprameya temple. Even today it is there. I think it's on the way to Bangalore from Mysore. So I'll just show you a picture of this temple. There are many pictures, so you can just have a look at this. One second. I'm showing you on this bench. So if you see, this is the Doddaballur temple that we have, or Aprameya Swami temple, which is still today located in this Doddaballur district. Has anyone visited this temple? Maybe Sri Vidyaji or so on, if you all stay nearby.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I have not
You
visited.
have not visited.
But I'll try to visit this.
Yes. It is between Mysore and Bangalore. So maybe on a weekend or so you can make a trip.
Lakshmi, is it Doddaballur?
Sorry?
Is it Doddaballur?
Doddaballur, same. Yes. Maybe in Kannada they call it that way. Correct. Sanjeev ji, you have visited? Narayan ji, Sanjeev ji. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went for Bangalore to Mysore, all the things were same.
Yeah, it is there, right, in between. So this temple is there even today, and how it has come in, that is, this is the explanation for that, or this is the story for that, wherein this temple is very very famous, Navanita Krishna, wherein the Lord decided that from today I will stay in this place only. I'll show you a picture of Navanita Krishna also for people who don't know. Yes, correct. Someone said that rightly. I forgot to tell. Purandara Dasa's famous Kirtana, Jagado Dharana, that has been composed here in praise of the same Navanita Krishna. Those people who learn a bit of Carnatic music, girls and all, if you learn, you know. Famous Kirtana, or even if you don't know, Jagado Dharana Kirtana is quite famous by Purandara Dasa. That also has been composed. Very nice. Navanita Krishna is nothing but with the butter in hand. I'll just show you if there is a picture so you can see that. So Shanti ji, the idol that you got from Mathura, that is the same Navanita Krishna.
Oh, okay.
I am very happy that you have given me.
I'm more happy to give it to you.
Okay, 1 second, I'll just show you all. So there are different, of course, versions to how the Navanita Krishna looks, but the most famous how it looks, I'll just show you if I get a picture. Okay, the picture is not easily available now. Okay, I'll maybe share a picture of the same idol that you have given me. That is Navanita Krishna temple. I'll share the picture on the group.
Is it Laddu Gopal?
Laddu Gopal, correct. That also you can call anything. Even that is also fine. So that is the same thing that is there. So it seems now why it is called Laddu Gopal is like maybe on a lighter note they say is because he keeps a ball of butter on his hand. Some people think that to be a laddu. So that is one reason why it is called that way. Because this is maybe on a lighter note. There are different references to this, but this is one very simple reference that is there.
In North India, they call him as Laddu Gopal.
Laddu Gopal, correct. So this is the reason. They don't think a bit as it is butter and all this. South Indians, we will get into all the details, and people in the South want to know. Navanita Krishna, you cannot call it this way. The North Indians are known for their bhakti. Bhakti has originated in North India. So again, of course, nothing bad or nothing good or bad, but that is the tradition that goes about. Even if you go to North India today, let's take an example of, okay, we are deviating from the topic. Anyways, we'll discuss on this a bit. Now, if you compare all the temples of North India, Mathura, Vrindavana, Dwaraka, you go down south, Guruvayur temple, or you go to Padmanabha Swami temple. All are in praise of Krishna, all are in praise of Vishnu. But the amount of devotion and the bhakti that is being shown there, or the practices that are being done, is completely different. Those who have visited all these temples, you can see. You go to Dwaraka, you go to Mathura. Dwaraka, for the holy festival that is there, they throw colors on each other. People from the south or people staying who believe in a lot of worship and maybe the rituals that are to be followed, they will not like that. What, you're throwing color on me? We'll go and file a police complaint. Whereas you go to the Dwaraka temple during the holy festival, they will throw color on you. You go and take bath 10 times, that is no problem for us. That is their way of showing bhakti. Whereas in the south, you go to Guruvayur temple, people will sit there with a book in their hand and be reading Narayana, Bhagavatam and so on. Even you go to North Indian temples, like for example the ISKCON temples and so on, they don't have any problem in raising their hands and dancing and so on. Like Draupadi, she called out to Govinda, Govinda Pundarika Aksharamam Sharanagatam. Whereas people from the central, not only south, you can say from the central and below part, what they do is, no, how four people are looking at me, why should I do that? Or the famous, I'll give you a very simple example, Har Har Nama Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva. We will just chant it from our mouth, but some people, they raise their hands, right? So it is their way of showing bhakti. So bhakti has originated. Bhakti was born in Dravida Deshe. Then she proceeded further. She came to Maharashtra Deshe, Karnataka, Maharashtra. Finally, she emerged to Gujarat. That's why even today, Gujarat is called as Bhakti Bhumi. Bhakti Bhumi, or the land of devotion. So nothing is wrong. You go a bit central and South India, they believe in more rituals. Things have to be done in the right way. Not just by showing bhakti, shouting and all about, that is not bhakti. People in the north and northeast, they believe that rituals are fine. Not everyone will know rituals. What is most important is bhakti. We will show bhakti. But in reality, what should be there? There should be a combination of both. I know all the rituals, but I'm a bit arrogant. No use. There is no bhakti. But at the same time, only bhakti without knowing anything, I'll just shout and just chant his names. That also doesn't look good. So combination of both is very, very important. So coming back to this topic of Aprameyaha. So Aprameyaha is one whose greatness is not known at all. So this temple is there even today. So now you know the significance of this temple as well as this Nama. So if you chant this Nama Aprameyaya Namaha, the Phalashruti that is there is things which are not known. Like for example, Aprameya literally means one whose greatness is not known. So a few things we cannot understand, right? Or a few things become difficult. So all things will be known, even the greatness of the Lord, the significance of the Lord, Mahima as we call that also will be known to all the devotees. So there will be no question of no, some things are not known at all. So or mysteries, there will be no question of mysteries at all. It will give us a power to know all the things in the right way. This is the Phalashruti. Okay, next.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, the process of the meaning of Laddu Gopal, they say the child Krishna
Huh.
is given actually to newly married couples to make it their son. It's
To get us.
tradition.
Correct. Yes, traditionally it is followed. Correct. Next, Aprameyo Rishikeshaha. Next name. Rishikeshaha, there are many definitions, but mainly Rishikeshaha literally means a lord of the senses, you can say, or one who is a controller of senses. That is the literal meaning of the sun. इंद्रियाणि ऋषिकाणि इंद्रियाणि तेषाम् ईशः क्षेत्रज्ञ रूपभाग और इंद्रियाणि यस्य वशे वर्तन्ते सः परमात्मा ऋषिकेशः. So the controller of the five senses is Rishikeshah. Rishikesh, many people are named as Rishikesh, boys are named as Rishikesh. This is the reason, literally meaning the controller of senses. Now for this there is a story of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. So we know the famous story that during the Samudra Manthana, what happens is that the Asuras and demons are churning the ocean, everything comes out, lastly the Amrita comes in. So now there is a fight for demons between the demons and God, saying that who will get this Amrita first. So at that time Vishnu assumes the form of a lady, nothing but Mohini avatar. So he comes there in the form of Mohini, and then she attracts you can say distracts the demons, and that's how the gods get the nectar and they become immortal. So here this Mohini Avatara was witnessed. So, but at that time what was Shiva doing? Shiva had consumed the hala poison. So he was actually very tired. Even if you today also, if you believe, it is said that Shiva, because he consumes the hala poison, it is said that he is still taking rest. He cannot get up. Now why did Shiva consume the hala poison? So that the world will be saved from this poison. If Shiva had not eaten the poison that day, today the world would have been destructed. So why do we do the Ekadashi Vrata? It is believed that during the Ekadashi Vrata, Ekadashi and the Dwadashi Vrata, why it has to be followed? There is a very good significance behind that. It is not for only Lord Vishnu, it is mainly for Lord Shiva, it is believed. Wherein on the day of the Ekadashi Vrata, we perform the Vrata, right? And on the day of Dwadashi, we must eat. At the right time, the fast has to be broken. So it is said that because he had consumed poison, he could not eat anything. Though Parvati had held his neck till his throat. Now if you consume like acid or something like that by mistake, if you eat something or something very spicy and all, our throat starts burning, right? Or if you get those blisters and all that, we cannot eat. Or ulcers, some people suffer from mouth ulcers. We cannot eat anything properly. So in the case of Shiva also, he is very tired because he has consumed the poison. He cannot eat anything. So by following the Ekadashi Vrata, it is as if we are respecting Lord Shiva. And on the Dwadashi Vrata, Shiva slowly starts consuming after the duration of 15 days. Slowly Shiva starts consuming little, and that's how when we also after the Ekadashi Vrata. Now we are not hungry for 15 days, only for one day Ekadashi Vrata. That also we do many shortcuts by consuming fruits, this and that. So light meals we consume on Ekadashi, signifying Lord Shiva, and next day little we start eating slowly, again to signify that Lord Shiva also has started eating. He is slowly getting cured from his tiredness. So Lord Shiva was very tired, so he goes to Lord Vishnu and says that at that time I had consumed poison, so I could not witness this beautiful avatara. I have heard from many people that you have taken this Mohini avatara. It is the first female avatara. I have seen you in all other animal forms, man form and all that, but what is this Mohini avatara? You please show me. So then the Lord says, I have already taken, now how should I show you? Like, again if I show you, then there is no purpose, right? Why should I take the avatara now? Avatara should be taken only for a reason, not just like that. Just because someone asks, I cannot take an avatar.
To show?
Huh? Sorry?
Who asked? Sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry to interrupt. Who asked him to show the Mohini avatar?
Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva comes and tells that I have not witnessed that, you please show it to me now. So Lord Vishnu says that there is no purpose now, so then how can I show you? So then Lord Vishnu says, no, there will surely be a purpose to it, you at least show me. Maybe now the purpose is not known, you show me, there will be a purpose that will be done. So then Lord Vishnu, he believes, Lord Shiva says, okay, if you are saying you are the Lord of the worlds, I must listen to you. So again this shows Shiva Vishnu unity and the respect that they have towards each other and the bhakti. Vishnu assumes a Mohini avatara, such a beautiful avatara. Shiva is immediately mesmerized looking at Lord Vishnu, and that's how through Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, this is a place wherein Rishikesha, when we talk about this Nama, that is when Lord Ayyappa, Lord Shasta is born. So now Vishnu understands the purpose of why the Mohini avatara had to be taken again. So wherein Lord Shiva tells her, no, without reason we are not taking an avatara, but a good reason has to be where Lord Ayyappa has to be born, therefore we have to take this avatara. So that's how after Vishnu taking the Mohini avatara, Lord Shiva, and through Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, Lord Ayyappa is born. That's how he gets the name of Hari Hara Putra. Hari Lord Vishnu, Hara Lord Shiva, son of both of them, Hari Hara Putra. So the purpose has been served. The avatara did not go waste. The second time over. Now all this is done. Shiva returns back to Kailasa. So then Parvati asks that you are the one who has controlled, who has kept Manmatha inside you. Kamadeva had come, you had killed him. You are the controller of all the senses. So then how? Looking at the Lord in the form of a female avatara, you got distracted or you got attracted towards the Lord. How come you lost control over your senses? You are the one who has controlled everything, even Manmatha, that is the god of love also, you have controlled inside yourself, Kama and so on. So then how this has taken place? For this, Lord Shiva gives a beautiful answer saying that I don't get distracted or I don't get attracted towards mere things that are there in the universe, but if the Lord himself, Lord of the three worlds, Lord Vishnu himself comes, my Lord, on whom I am meditating always. We have seen the previous name Shivaha. Shivaha meaning one who keeps meditating on the Lord, one who keeps meditating on the auspicious form of the Lord. That is Shivaha. Or we have Rama, the name wherein Lord Shiva keeps meditating on Rama Nama, he keeps chanting. So even if the Lord himself comes in front of me in the form of this Mohini avatara, he is the one who is a controller of all the senses. That is Rishikesha. But he himself, if he assumes such a beautiful form, even I also, Lord Shiva also, even I get attracted or even I'll also lose the control over my senses. And of course, losing control over the senses was to serve some purpose. That is because Harihara Putra, Lord Ayyappa, had to be born here. Plus, I had to also witness the Mohini avatara, which I could not do earlier when the Samudra Manthana was taking place. So, two purposes were served here. So, here, this is what the answer Shiva gives to Parvati. So, Rishikesh, so this is the story behind the senses. Rishikeshaya Namaha. This is a Nama that has to be chanted. So, this is where the Phalashruti of this Nama is, we will also be able to control our senses properly, having a control over our senses. The eyes should not look what is not needed, ears hear all nonsense things, we all consume all different kinds of food which is not good for our body, and tongue, that is because tongue keeps, our taste buds keep asking for good food, or skin is again one thing. So all the five senses are being controlled. So having a control over all the five senses, this is a Phalashruti that is told for this Nama, Rishikeshaya Namaha. So Rishikesha literally means the controller of the senses. So this is a story of the Mohini avatara that is there, and also the significance of the birth of Lord Ayyappa. Okay. Did everyone understand till this Nama? Rishikesha, Aprameyaha and Rishikesha. Okay. Next. Aprameyo Rishikesho Padmanabha. Next name Padmanabha. Padmanabha, we know the famous Padmanabha Swami temple in Trivandrum. Now Padmanabha, let us look at the definition. Sarva Jagat Karanam Padmam Nabho Yasya Saha. This is a Bahuvrihi Samasa. Bahuvrihi Samasa, compound words in Sanskrit, it is named as Bahuvrihi Samasa. Yasya Saha. So all such definitions are named as Bahuvrihi in Sanskrit. Just for your knowledge, you can note it. Sarva Jagat Karanam meaning the creation of the entire world is done from Padmam Nabho Yasya Saha, from the Nabhi or from the navel of the Lord. There is nothing but Lord Brahma. We believe that as per the Vishnu Purana, as per the Srimad Bhagavata Purana, we believe that Lord Brahma is born through the navel of Lord Vishnu, and that's how the entire world has been created. Now it so happened that when the Lord was created, when Lord Brahma was created, he was just born out of this lotus, and he was made to sit on this lotus. So now Lord Brahma, he did not know anything. That just now I've come up, I'm sitting on top of the lotus. So what should be done? So what he does is that Lord, now if you see a lotus stem also has got a lot of water. So he does one thing. He goes inside the lotus, below. He goes inside the lotus, and there he finds only water everywhere. It is said that Lord Brahma, he sees only water everywhere. So that is nothing but earlier the first creation that was there is we did not have land at all. We had only water everywhere. Even today if you see, 70% of the earth is water. Only in the remaining 30% is what is land and all that we are living and seeing the creation all around, right? So Brahma goes down, he sees only water. He doesn't understand what is going on everywhere. So then he comes back to Lord Vishnu and says that I am born out of this lotus, but I don't have any jnana. I don't know what to do. I tried going down. Up there is nothing. I tried going down and seeing, but there is only water everywhere. So what should be done now? You only guide me. So for this, Lord Vishnu guides him properly, saying that you are born out of my navel. So all these petals of the lotus, they represent the Kala Chakra. Kala Chakra is nothing but time period. He teaches Brahma all the 4 Vedas. Brahma learns the 4 Vedas. He becomes knowledgeable. And finally, he says that you are the one who is responsible for past, present and future. Now Kala Chakra is nothing but time circle. In all our lives also, time past. If I say no, I am 22, past. All the past 22 years are past for me. Present, I am in my 23rd year or 22nd year. If I say this is my present, remaining from age 23 onwards till the end of my life, till whenever I live, that will all be future. So this is Kala Chakra. So the Lord says, you are the one who is responsible for creation. Start creating from today onwards. I have taught you all the 4 Vedas, which are the sources of knowledge. These lotus petals represent the Kala Chakra. That is nothing but the time period, time cycle. So now you start with your creation. Why this name Padmanabha? That is because you are born from my navel. Padmanabha. That's how this name has come. One who is born out of the lotus. That is nothing but Lord Brahma, which is indirectly Lord Vishnu only, because he is born through that. Right? So Padmanabha is another name for the Lord. Now, has this got some significance with the famous Padmanabha Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram? Yes. Even today, those who have visited the Padmanabha Swami temple, you will see that there are 3 entrances to this temple. Has anyone visited this temple?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are there
Yes,
really
it
3
may.
entrances?
We are from, our native is Trivandrum only, so we are from there.
But there are 3 entrances, right?
Yes.
Do you know the reason why?
That I don't know.
Past, present, and future.
Uttamam. That is because it represents this time period, Kala Chakra. One gate represents the past, one gate represents the present, and one gate represents the future. Therefore, there are 3 entrances to this temple to represent the 3 stages of life. That is nothing but this Kala Chakra. Therefore, the Lord there is called as Padmanabha. Padmanabha Swami. Why it is called this? Because the Lord represents the time circle there, Kala Chakra. So this is a very short, simple story signifying the name of Padmanabha. So if you chant this Nama, Padmanabhaya Namaha, if this Nama is chanted, all the stages of our life, be it past, present or future, will always be good. We cannot change the past, you cannot determine the future, so therefore live in the present, you will always be happy. This is what has been told. But whatever now has happened in the past, you forget. Our present should be good, our future should be good. So one who chants this Nama, Padmanabhaya Namaha, all the stages of life will be good, and not only for us, even for our future generations also it will be good. Now just I'll give you a reference. It is said that why should we do all our rituals properly, or why should we put in a lot of efforts, or why should we ensure that my future generations also learn the same thing? That is because if we are living in a good state of life, in a good stage of life, it is not because of our karma, it is because of our ancestral karma that they have done. That's why you see during all the rituals, the priest will ask you your nama, your nakshatra, your rashi, your sons, the entire families. They ask us all the details, right? Have you ever wondered why? I am doing the puja, you ask mine and go. No. Today, if we are living a very good life, all thanks to our parents and ancestors. And it is said that all these good rituals that are there, it will be existing only till your 2nd generation. That means till your grandson. If I do some good deeds or bad deeds, that will result in karma of my past, till my grandchildren. That's it. So if today we don't do good rituals, that means tomorrow your grandchildren's life is in danger. This is what is a belief. Now practically, how far I should believe this? What all nonsense somebody is talking. I do something good and my grandchildren will live happily. I'll give you a very simple logic for this. We have practical example I'll give you. We have a house, right? If the grandfather suddenly passes about without writing a name on the property for anyone, for his son, it goes away. The son, there are 2-3 brothers now, fights are happening. No, my father did not write a name, nothing has been written. Now they can do one thing, maybe they divide the property equally. But then that also again is fight. No, you get a share, I get a share, and so on. That will be division there. It leads to fights. Now, if something happens to this father also, that is to the son, grandfather is dead, he has not written anything, son dies away, the elder son dies, nothing happens, now to his grandchildren. Now the problem, what has occurred is, my grandfather did not write a hair, my father has not done that, father has got 2 or 3 brothers, my father is dead today but they are still alive, so somewhat the property, they also have to share the rights. The same now, my father is not there, so it has to come to me, to the grandchildren. Grandchildren, we are now 4 of us. How should we divide it amongst us? So much of problems that are existing. All because the karma or the result of my grandfather. He did not do things properly. He is dead now. Nothing, he is not going to suffer anything. My father is also dead now. But problem is I am suffering today. That is because of the karma that he did not do properly without thinking anything in future. Same logic is applicable here. This is a practical example which we see in everyday life. But some things like the rituals that we do, when we say that it will be beneficial. If today we are in a good state, all thanks to our ancestors till my grandfather's time who have done good deeds. That is the reason I am there. Want your children and grandchildren to be good? You have to do good rituals. Only then the family sustains. So it's not that I do something, the same result. I am doing good, so I am experiencing the same result. No. In other practical aspects you can say. But like for example this property rights or so on. Or the tree. One more example I'll give you. As kids now, most of us, what we do is we collect those seeds and everything and we would have grown a tree, right? But maybe the tree will give fruits only after 70 or 80 years. I don't know whether I'll be alive till then. So the fruits, the results that I sowed the seeds, the results can be seen only by my future generation. That is maybe my son or even my grandson. I am not going to enjoy that. But it is very important that I put the action. Only if I do the good action, then only my future generations will enjoy. Therefore, it is very, very important to do the actions properly. That is why Kala Chakraha is very, very important. We take things very lightly. We wait for life to change. Okay, at a later stage of life, I will do everything. Start from today. Tomorrow isn't promised. So this is what this Padmanabhaha, this Nama signifies. Why I am telling you this is, one, on a religious aspect, we look at it, okay, Padmanabhaha, Lord of the universe, Brahma is born, he created and so on. But at the same time, this Padmanabhaha, this Nama also signifies the importance of time that is there in one's life. I waste time looking about here and there, maybe fighting with people, arguing with people. We don't know how time passes about. Maybe all through the life, we were just fighting and arguing with someone. When the person leaves, you don't know, oh, what did I do with this person? I was just fighting and arguing with him. I never spent some good time with the person. So there should be no regrets at all. Therefore, try to spend time wisely now. So this is the other meaning, or this Nama tries to teach us given the importance of time. Okay, this is Padmanabhaha. Next, Amaraprabhu. Prameyo Rishikesha Padmanabho Amaraprabhu. Now please note, Padmanabhaha Amaraprabhu. This is original Nama. When we chant in the shloka, Padmanabho Amaraprabhu. But it is not Maraprabhu. Maraprabhu, one who dies. Amaraprabhu, one who never dies or one who has got never death. Let's look at the definition. Lord of the gods. Amaranam Prabhu, Amaraprabhu. Amaranam, one who live, people who live in the kingdom of Amaravati. What is Amaravati? Not the Amaravati which is there in Maharashtra. Amaravati is said to be the kingdom of Indra. Vaikuntha, Vishnu. Kailasa, Shiva. Brahmaloka, Brahma. Amaravati of Indra. So the place, the kingdom of Indra is called as Amaravati. So people who live in Amaravati, that is all the gods, that is Amaraha. They are called as Amaraha. And Amaranam Prabhu, Amaraprabhu. The Lord of the gods also is Lord Vishnu, therefore he is called Amaraprabhu. This is one meaning. Second meaning is one who is immortal. So gods are said to be immortal, so therefore it is also called as Amaraprabhu. Okay. Now for this, there is a story again with reference to the same Padmanabha Swami temple. And again little reference to the Mohini avatar also. So that Rishikeshaha, Padmanabha, Amaraprabhu, you can say they are quite related to each other. So here what happens is that once it so happened, Bhasmasura. Bhasmasura, now just as Lord Vishnu has killed many demons, even Shiva also was responsible for uh, killing demons. But at the same time, Shiva and Vishnu are people who are also responsible. Shiva and Brahma are gods who are responsible for granting a lot of boons without thinking. Without thinking, or rather, because he's Ashutoshi, Lord Shiva is Ashutoshi, someone comes and asks him something, he will immediately give. He will not say he is a demon, he is a god, or he is a man, or what he is going to do with that boon, he will never think. For that, Vishnu has to come and take care. Oh, this demon, this Shiva and Brahma are continuously giving boons without thinking anything. Now I have to go and fight, I have to take an avatara and kill so that the world can be saved. So this is the only work of Lord Vishnu, we can say. Brahma and Shiva will give boons, Vishnu has to come, and whatever they do with that boons, he has to come and take care. So this is what we see from all our different stories that are there. So like this, there was an Asura demon, Bhasma Asura. He comes to Lord Shiva and he says that you give me a power that on whosever head I keep my finger, that person will become Bhasma. That is, he'll turn into ashes there and then. Shiva agreed. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So he agreed immediately. Now, and he blessed him with the boon. But this now Bhasmasura was so smart that he tells him, you have told me that you have given me a boon, but on whom should I test it? There should be some testing that should be done, right? So then the Lord says, now how can I tell you this? Maybe whenever you have a war or something, at that time you can try and test all this and see if it is working. Bhasmasura says, no, I cannot take a risk. At the right time it should work. So now I want to try it on you only. So this is how is the sad story of demons. Even on gods himself, one who granted him the boon, on the same person he is going to try. Just as we do a lot of trials now. You buy something, first we have to do a trial, right? Clothes or something we buy, the shopkeeper will tell us, no, it will fit you, it is your size only, this and that. Some people will agree and come. Some people, no, much ever it will fit, we'll go in the trial room, we'll try 4 or 5, we'll see if it is fitting, and in the end we won't buy anything and come back. Right, so trial is very, very important. So Bhasmasura also believed in this concept of trial. He said, no, I want to try on you. Now, Lord Shiva, when they grant boons, it will never go waste. And it will also affect Lord Shiva himself too. When a boon is given, the boon becomes more stronger than the giver of the boon. He tried to try it on Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva started running. He said that I will become Bhasmam now. So then, what you can do? So Vishnu was seeing this. Vishnu said, no, I have to save my Lord. He's running here and there. Again, he assumes the form of a Mohini. Now here, there are 2 references. As per a few references, we have that Vishnu assumed the form of Mohini, that is a female avatara, and that's how she distracted Bhasmasura. Some references, it is Vishnu came in his original form only. Now we will consider the Mohini avatara. Why it is so? Now Shiva was running here and there and Bhasmasura was following him. So at that time Vishnu assumes this Mohini avatara and he comes there. And looking at the beauty of Mohini, Bhasmasura is distracted towards her. And Mohini says, let us dance together. Both of them, they start dancing. And that's how in one of the dance steps, ultimately the hand goes on top of the head. And that's how even Bhasmasura does the same thing without forgetting the boon that he has got. And he himself is responsible for his death. This is one, you can say, like a folklore that comes in. This comes in the stories of Lord Ayyappa or Lord Shasta. When we have the Harihara Putra, when the Mohini Avatara takes place, Lord Ayyappa is born. In his Charitram, in his stories, this reference comes in of the Mohini Avatara, how Bhasmasura is killed. But as per the Vishnu Sahasranama or in general, if you see, Lord Vishnu comes to this place and he says that, okay, you try on Lord Shiva, but before that, I'll teach you some other good magic formulas which you can use. During war, it will be useful. Bhasmasura is very happy. I have already got one boon from Shiva. Vishnu is also, that too from him side. I have not approached him. He himself is coming and telling, I will give you something. And this is like, I've got a lottery. So let's make the most of it. So for that, Lord Vishnu says, first you do the Achamanam. Then only we will start. Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. He does that. He washes his face, washes his hands and mouth. Next, Achamanam. Those who do the Achamanam, you know. Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara. Damodara, hand comes on the top. Bhasmam, there only he. Bhasmasura. That's only he himself turns into ashes. Sridhara on the navel, Padmanabha on the navel. Now you know, Now you know the significance of Padmanabha. People who do the men here? Yes, men are there, right? Whenever you do the Achamanam, you know, men, you do the Padmanabha, you touch the navel. Why do you touch the navel? That is because it is a place of Padmanabha. That is Lord Brahma, we have just seen in the previous Nama. And Damodara, we touch the tip of our head. That is when Bhasmasura did the same thing and he dies about there. So the 12 names of Lord Vishnu he chanted, and Bhasmasura he touches his own head. That's how he is killed. So now Amara Prabhu, what is the significance of this name is, earlier we saw in the Nama last week that when Brahma was in danger, Madhukaitaba had come in, Vishnu comes in a form to save Brahma. At the same time now when Shiva was in danger, again Vishnu came and tried to save Shiva. So one who is a savior of not only his devotees but also fellow gods, that is this Amara Prabhu, meaning the Lord of the gods, or one who also saves the gods. Therefore we also, if we chant this Nama, Padmanabhaya Namaha, Amaraprabhave Namaha, Amaraprabhave Namaha, if this name is chanted, we will also be saved from all kinds of dangers and problems that we face in life. Okay, and then at the same time, these 12 names of Lord Vishnu, though men they chanted during their Sandhya Vandana, during the Achamanam that they do, others, even ladies and gents also, others, so those who don't do the Sandhya Vandanam, those who don't have the practice of Sandhya Vandanam, these 12 names should be chanted, Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, and so on. Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Sridhara, Trivikramana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara. These names have to be chanted on a daily basis. Just as a part of your worship, you can include it. Okay, so this is Amara Prabhu. Did everyone understand till here? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, to signify this, if you look at again the Padmanabha Swami temple, I'll show you an image of Padmanabha. You see this Padmanabha, and on his hand you see always you have the Shivalinga. If you see, the Lord always keeps a hand on the Shivalinga here. Why it is just so? That is because to signify Lord Shiva that I have come here to save you from Bhasmasura. So therefore you need not worry on this. So therefore he keeps a hand on the Shivalinga to signify that now I am come here to save you, now you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so this is a significance why the Lord in the Padmanabha Swami temple, why there is a Shivalinga. So this is the story of Bhasmasura and the Nama is Amara Prabhu. Okay, continue. Next. Vishwakarma, Aprameyo Rishikesha Padmanabho Maraprabhu, Vishwakarma. Now from here onwards, if you see Vishwakarma in the next 2-3 namas, I don't know how much we can cover, the stories or the significance get a bit bigger. So you have to be very, very careful when you listen to everything. Vishwakarma literally means one who's, Vishwakarma is easy. Okay. Vishwakarma is one who is a creator of the universe. Vishwakarmane Namaha. This is a nama that is to be chanted. Now for this, Vishwakarma literally, there is no story or significance behind this. Literally is one, Vishwakarma we know is the architect of the gods, that is one. But he has also been given the divine powers by Lord Vishnu himself. Therefore the original Vishwakarma is Lord Vishnu. Or like for example, though Brahma was given the responsibility of creation, the original creator is Vishnu himself. Similarly. So for this now there is a very beautiful significance that I don't know how far it is true, but you can consider it to be a coincidence also. In English, we call God, right? G-O-D. Very, very beautifully, in a few references, this full form of G-O-D has been mentioned. What is that? Why is someone called even God? Why do we call God? Why God? Does anyone know the meaning of God? What is God? Or why only G-O-D? It can be anything, right?
Generator, operator, destroyer.
Tama. Generation, operation, destruction. You need not make it a noun. We can just, that is, we need not address it as generator, operator. You can just make the terms. This is what is the significance that is there. So, why I am telling you this is, Sanatana Dharma, we believe that Shiva is, Brahma is responsible for creation, Shiva is, Vishnu is for maintenance and Shiva is for destruction. Same thing even when this word God was being created, they also had the same belief. So you see the intermingling of religious faiths. Today we have so many problems that we are facing. Oh, this religion is more, that religion is more, faith problems, your Christianity, your Islam, my Hinduism and so on. But you look at the significance of everything, the base is the same. Problem is we don't know about things. So this God, it is said that generation, operation, destruction. This is said to be the full form of God, which somewhat is similar to what we believe in. There is one more significance for this, a very interesting aspect. If you count the number, for example, we have total 26 letters. If you look at the place of G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, this is the 7th letter. G is 7. O, 12. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, O. 13th, right? 13th and D is 4. If you do the calculation, how much it comes in? What is the
24.
calculation? How much?
24.
24? Calculate properly.
7, 13 and 4.
How much it is?
24.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah. So why it is 24? If you look at the calculation, why 2 letters are less there? That is because God, this significance, it tries to symbolize. Now this is again, these are all coincidences we can say, or if you want to believe, you believe it. Why 2 aspects are less? To say that in the English alphabet, 2 letters are extra, they are just added. The God is, he tries to show a way in just 3 letters. Sorry. Though 2 letters fall short here,
O is 15, no? O is 15.
count it properly. How much does the total come in?
O is
D is 4, that we know. G and O, everyone you counted properly.
O is 15 actually.
O is 15. So now you calculate, does it come to 26?
Yes, 26.
Who said 24?
37, no?
Everyone is weak in maths here, including me. I used to feel only I didn't like maths, I was weak. Everyone is including.
27 is coming.
Okay, whatever it is.
26, ma'am. 7.
26 should be the total. So 26, why it is 26? Okay, let us all calculate it later. We have Shambhavi Shrikar here. You can do the calculation correctly and tell. G-O-D, look at the place value of all the letters, calculate, it should come to 26. And if it comes to 26, that means that itself symbolizes God. So one who is Vishwakarma is, represents G-O-D, these 3 letters represent all the 26 letters. Similarly, God is the one element that represents all the 3 words. This is as per English faith. English faith or English letters. Now a question should come to your minds, why did you consider this example? Why not consider an example from our own dharma? Why should we go to some other religions? This explanation I have not given, it has been mentioned in the scriptures. Why it is mentioned? So it is to show the intermingling of relations. If you want, you can take a significance from our own culture, but there is no explanation for this. Vishwakarma, one who is the creator of the universe. That is one thing, meaning we can say and go away. But I felt that this reference is something very, very interesting, wherein not only the meaning has been told, a few interesting aspects has been told, and this interesting aspect further leads that, or further explains that there is always an intermingling of religious faiths that are there. Today we have so much of problem amongst ourselves we have created, but we never know the significance of this. Truly, if we study everything properly, we get proper proofs that everything is maintained properly. So, okay. So, maintained properly, or everything has been there with the references, it has been mentioned in the right way, but we are the people who don't study it well, and that's how problems take place. Okay, so Vishwakarma here, actually the one to whom all actions belong, Vishwam Karma Kriya Yasya Saha, one who does the action of creating the universe. Karma is action, he is known as Vishwakarma. So the Lord of the universe is Vishwakarma. So just not all, why should we always go to our own mythology and look at the significance of names? Why not look at something different? So that is the reason, this is the significance of this nama, Vishwakarma. Vishwakarmane Namaha. Now, if by chanting this nama, what is the Phalashruti is? There are a few civil engineers, or even all of us also, though maybe not a civil engineer or a manufacturer or something, even in our everyday life we try to make something. Even we try to cook, right? So whatever we make, or whatever, I'm talking about the products, be it something to eat or any product like I told, a bridge or so on, whatever constructions that we do, all the construction or the make products, anything, it can be eating or any normal product, all that will take place properly, or we will be successful in that. So that is the significance of this nama, Vishwakarmane Namaha. Okay. So did everyone understand this name? Some people can consider this explanation to be a bit boring also. Why so much we have to think and so on. But this is something very interesting. Main I felt is how in each and every aspect. Now who had ever wondered God, you can even interpret it in this name. Some people will just say, okay, G-O-D, God, that's it. Someone is telling, my father used the same name, grandfather used the same name, all the world is saying the same name, I am also using the same name. Right? But then if you have to think deeply, we get answers for everything. Okay, so did everyone understand this nama, Vishwakarma? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Manu. Next is sorry, Vishwakarma Manustvashta, Manuhu Tvashta. Next is Manuhu. Now there are many names for this Manu, this meaning of this name Manu. Manu is one, the proper noun Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, our ancestor or the person who is responsible for bringing humankind, or you can say bringing human beings into this Srishti. That is Manu. Mananat Manu, one who always thinks systematically. Mananat. That's why we have something called Mananam. Shravanam Kirtanam Yasya, Mananam Padasevanam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, and so on. We have that shloka. Shravanam, we hear something. We look at something, but just by hearing something is not enough. Mananam, we have to continuously think on that. Now you read a book once, you know what is written, but it's not that we know everything properly. You have to spend some time maybe revising, maybe thinking about what is written. Only then it gets registered properly in our brains, right? That is the reason why revision is very important. Children, and so before exams, we just read it once. Now most of the people, what we do it, tomorrow's exam, only today I open the book. Then that is not Mananam. Mananam is something wherein, okay, if 2 months later is the exam, from today I'll open the book, maybe read it once. Before the exam, twice or thrice. So till the exam, continuously I keep revising it as I get time. That is Mananam. Same thing we are reading again and again till it gets registered properly. That is Mananam. Now for this, we have a very beautiful story. Now this was when, again you have to go to the Krishna Leela stories. So this was when after Kamsa was killed and so on, Krishna was ruling over Mathura. Or Krishna was staying in Mathura. So at that time, once it so happened that, now these are all incidents that happen to show that the Yadava Kula has to end, and towards the end of the Krishna Avatara, how things should end. There should be a proper climax or a conclusion for everything. So all these things or incidents are to depict that now Krishna Avatara is going to come to an end, and now Krishna has to leave Mathura. So Krishna, there was a king called Kalavana, or Kalavana some people call it, but Kalavana is the most popular version. So he used to continuously attack Mathura. Now, whenever a war takes place, like for example, there is a war between India and Pakistan, say for example, Pakistan attacks us. So every time Pakistan has attacked us, so do we always result in war? Or what should be our counter attack? So that's why we have something called as something surgical strike, this and that. We have different operations, right, that are done. So it's not that every time it should take place in a war, and it is said that this surgical strike and different operations that today the government and the army does, we have some reference to it in the Krishna Avatara times, because Krishna did the same thing in Mathura. Not a surgical strike exactly, but what he does is, whenever this king used to attack, this Kalavana used to attack, he used to have an assembly with his ministers, Krishna. He said that now a war means it is not just a war between two people or two countries. It will lead to mass destruction of even the innocent people, innocent civilians there. Everyone is going to be affected. So then, being a king or being a person or being a leader of a country, we cannot afford destruction of our own people. So we will try ways to avoid the war. What other things can be done? He used to always think on that. Just as always now, if Pakistan has attacked, a terrorist attack has taken place, we don't send 2 of our people and say you throw bomb there and come. We don't do that, right? In very rare cases it happens that India goes and throws a bomb on someone. We don't believe in bombing at all. Maybe we'll have a proper fight and so on, or other operations we do, all that we do, right? But from ourselves we don't go and okay, he has thrown a bomb, tomorrow I am also going to go and do the same thing. We don't give the same counter attacks, right? So there are certain plans and everything, strategies that are to be done. So Krishna also with his ministers did the same thing. He called upon Garuda, his Vahana, and also Gargacharya, his family priest. He had a discussion with them, and there he decided that this place now is very dangerous. This Kalavana keeps on attacking. Not for us, but we have to think about the people of Mathura also. Even their lives are in danger. Tomorrow if something happens to them, we are the people who will be responsible for this. So let us do one thing. Let us all shift all these people from Mathura in UP to a place in Dwaraka. Now this place in Gujarat. Now the Dwaraka, Kuchastali. There is a place called Kuchastali in Gujarat. Today I don't know if the place is popular. Sanjeevji, is there a place still Kuchastali? Or it's known as Dwaraka now? Are you there, Sanjeevji? I think he stays in Gujarat. He might know. Okay. So originally the place was called Kuchastali. And this Kuchastali, later, it was named as Dwaraka after Krishna built his kingdom there. Now why Dwaraka? Dwaraka literally means a dwaram. Dwaram is a door. Door to moksha, Dwaraka. You go to Dwaraka, directly it's an entry to moksha there. Directly you'll reach Vaikuntha. That is the significance of this place, Dwaraka. So he said, let's all transfer these people to Dwaraka. Let them all stay there. So this place, it was originally called as Kuchastali in Gujarat. Now along with Krishna, Vishwakarma, that is the architect of gods, he had taken him also. A new city has to be built, so we need the architect. And also Garuda followed Krishna. Now they reached this place, Kuchastali in Gujarat, and then Krishna was still in Mathura. He says, no, both of you, you go now, you see the plan and everything. Now to build a city, it is not possible in one day. First the architect has to make a plan on paper and everything. Vishwakarma does all that. He plans where what will be there, where is the palace of Krishna, where should be the local different area, shops, where will the people live, and so on. He designs the place same as it is there in Mathura, so that all the people can live comfortably and happily. All the designing, everything is done. And then Vishwakarma, now all this is done on paper. It has not been actually into action, it has not been turned in. That's going to take time. So Vishwakarma and Garuda, they are very tired. They have travelled all the way from Mathura till Gujarat, Dwarka. And in those times, we did not have transport. You have a flight and plane and a train. You can go immediately. It doesn't happen that way. So through walking, after many days, they have finally reached. Or in bullock carts or horse carts, they used to come in. So now Vishwakarma and Garuda, they were having a nap during afternoon. All the plan, everything is ready. They say, let Krishna comes, we'll have a discussion and see. Now we are very tired, so let us sleep for some time. So while they were sleeping, both this Garuda and Vishwakarma, they have a person coming to their dreams. They have during the daytime dream that who keeps on asking them, like they are now in Dwaraka now. In this Kuchastali, this Dwaraka, this place was created. And he says that where is the kingdom, or where is the house of Krishna, where is the house of Krishna? He keeps on asking that person. And this Garuda just ignores. It's a dream, something, I'm having a dream. He gets up. Vishwakarma also, in just a casual conversation, he tells Vishwakarma that in my dream someone came and asks, where is Krishna's house, where is Krishna's house? In Dwaraka. So then Vishwakarma says, I am also getting the same dream. But I thought it is just that only I am getting a dream because we are in Dwaraka and now we are going to stay here and all. So maybe the same thoughts came. But the same dream will not come to two people, right? So then both of them are now confused. So then they say, okay, maybe some Sankalpa by Krishna only, let us leave it here. Saying they go out. Now they were just living in a small, now whenever we go to these pilgrimage places, you see, some people, they will live on the railway station waiting rooms, or maybe you have a small common area wherein you can just keep your bags, just a small one-day visit, or maybe you take a nearby hotel or a small lodge kind of a thing. So like this Vishwakarma and Garuda were living. They set out of their place where they were just having a small nap, and they are surprised to see that the whole city was built. Vishwakarma is shocked. Vishwakarma says, I've just made the plan on paper. When did we build the city? The whole city was built. They were surprised. So they move out, they just go out to witness the entire city, how it is built. And the same construction, it does not even seem like Dwaraka, it seems to be like Mathura only. Just as they were living in Mathura, same construction had been done in Dwaraka also. And now the person who had come, so they were just moving about in the roads and so on. Person who had come to their dreams now, he comes here, he comes in front of them, and he says that I asked you in your dream where is Krishna's house. You come now. I have found out Krishna's house by myself. Now I'll tell you where it is. You come along with me. Both of them, Garuda now immediately knew this is a work of Krishna only. So he says here, Manave Namaha. He calls out to the Lord, Manave Namaha. Vishwakarma says, what Manave Namaha? You call Krishna Namaha, right? So here Garuda says that why I am calling him Manave Namaha is because he is the one who has thought that this place has to be created. He is the one who has taken this sankalpa. Therefore, one who takes a sankalpa, or one who thinks that in such a way things have to be done, therefore he should be addressed as Manuhu. Another name for the Lord is Manuhu that way. The nama that has to be chanted is Manave Namaha. Therefore I have chanted Manave Namaha. So this is nothing but we have something called Bhagavat Sankalpam, or God's will, right? So how much ever things we do it practically, still if Bhagavat Sankalpam is not there, it will not take place at all. So this nama tries to signify that. So now for this I'll give you one more reference if I remember rightly. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we have many Upanishads. Out of that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we have one line which is quite related in this context. Etasya va aksharaya prasanne gargi surya chandramasau vidrutau. What is the meaning? This is a mantra that is chanted. Vidrutau tishtataha. This is a mantra that is chanted in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, saying that every day the sun rises and the moon rises, right? Sunrise, moonrise, sunset, moonset we have. But never one day it happens that, okay, tomorrow the moon fell on my head. Moon always stays in the same place, or the sun has fallen down. We don't say that. So to say, Surya Chandramasau Vidrutau Tishtatau. Till it is Narayana Sankalpam, till it is Bhagavat Sankalpam, Surya and Chandra will stay in the sky only. So similarly, this is just one reference that is being told in the same context. So here, what Garuda gives an explanation to Vishwakarma is, how much ever we try, how much ever you have done the action plan on paper and everything, still only if the Lord wills, you can do something. The Lord has only willed that He has created this entire Dwaraka. No work for all of us now. With His will, with His Sankalpam, it has been created. So therefore, the Palashruti is for all of us also to develop a strong Sankalpa within ourselves. This is what it gives. Now to do anything we say, right, there should be a will. Only if you have a will, you can. If you do things half-heartedly, or if someone tells 100% we are not happy, 100% results will not be achieved. So personally, from inside, that will should come in, a strong sankalpa that yes, I want to do this. At the same time, Bhagavat Sankalpam, or the divine will of the God also, is equally important. Otherwise, nothing will work about. I have planned everything. Okay, 9 to 10, I am going to speak on this. What if something happens? There is no guarantee, right? So at least 10%, or you can say rather 50%, Bhagavat Sankalpam is very, very important. Even though now I feel that, okay, today I'll speak so much, at the right time, the right word should come out, right? Otherwise, what? No, I'm not recollecting, wait. If that is not there, again, Bhagavat Sankalpam is very, very important. So in all our actions that we do, how much ever practical, how much ever efforts we put in, that 1%, Bhagavat Sankalpam is very, very important. That is signified by this Nama, Manave Namaha. Palashruti is a strong Sankalpam and a strong will to do things also develops in us. Okay. So today time is up. We will stop here.